On this episode of the Lava Lamp Zone, I packed up and headed down the Gold Coast to Southern California to check in with one of my favorite people, my girl, Debbie Debbs. I consider Deb to be one of the most genuine, funniest people I know. The Debbs, that's what I like to call her. She migrated here to Southern California decades ago, and along with her travels came lots and lots of stories and experiences. I'm happy to have a pleasure to sit down with her. We are here with my good friend, Debb Zuckerwise. I wanted to say thank you, Deb, for allowing me to do this interview. This is so awesome. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you, too. I'm originally from New York. I still have my New York accent, though I've been here in California for about 40 years. Even more. And I grew in Queens, a district of New York City. Check this out. I was born on 5/7/57. 5757, May 7th. And I came in at 5:07, right, on the dot. And I weighed 5:07, right? And there's another one in there. But yeah, I was very strange and weird the minute my mother birthed me. So, I like it though. I get a kick out of my life. I didn't grow up there. We moved to Long Island, New York. Out in the island. In a cute little town called Merrick. And it was pretty new. It was like, building up. But that's where I was originally from Queens, New York, and I moved out into the suburbs. I had a brother, and sadly enough, when he was 15, he heard voices, so he was a psychotic schizophrenic. He wasn't just a schizophrenic, he was psychotic. And that's also a part of my story. The violence that was in my family. I was just into shyness. I was really shy and very shy and did really well in school throughout till 12th grade. Did really well in school. And I have a sad story, and I can't talk too much about it, but I was sexually assaulted by my pediatrician. And he did really bad damage to me. And, that was at 8. He got me at 8, stopped at 12. But that's something that's hard-hitting, having that happen to me and 50 other girls also he did. But for that to happen to me, and then growing up in the family I have grown up, mom not believing me and stuff, it was a difficult, childhood and teenager life. So I've had a lot of trials and errors, but I came shining through. I'm here today, still loving everyone and keeping peaceful. I did. I was weird in high school. I used to draw a star on my face. My mother used to paint, like right above my breast, flowers and stuff. So I had a pretty wild high school. Yeah, it's a tat I wore. Jewish people can't have tattoos, so that was the tat I wore. It was fun. I went to college, to Buffalo College, and met a dentist. He was my so-called mate at the time. And he was in touch with a lot of drugs, gelatos, and that's when I first started shooting up in college. So, of course, I didn't make it through college. I only made it 4 months. Okay. But that's when I started very young. My parents were all right. See, I grew up in a Jewish home. Very Jewish, and my parents were okay, but I know they were pill freaks because they took all their pills at 12 years old. But my father had an affair in the marriage, and I don't know. Jewish wives stick by their man no matter what, I guess. And so she stuck with him until he died. He died at 57, and I was loaded on heroin at that time, and he says his last dying words were, "Get her out of the room, she's loaded." Very, very dark. He got me in a lot of trouble. I've been in 42 rehabs. 42 rehabs. That's a lot of rehabs. I had 10 electric shock treatments. And I've been through a real lot. I know I'm like throwing out a lot of information, and I'm sorry about it. It's kind of therapeutic for me. It's really quite therapeutic. The worst thing that ever happened to me was I was carjacked. I was carjacked by 2 black men. Got my car, and you go where we tell you to go. And we went into...
oh, wait. That's not carjacked. That's kidnapped.
Oh, yeah.
Kidnapped, carjacked.
Right. Yes, wow. Thank you. Thank you very much, Glenn. Yeah, it was a kidnapping. And they got me bad. Real bad. And threw me in the shower to make sure that I was clean. And then threw me out naked in the Wilshire district, which I thought was a good district. But anyway. And the 5th house finally answered its door. And I'm standing there with barely anything on. And the police came, and I was charged because I happened to have I did like a Fatal Attraction, if you ever saw that movie, and Glenn Close comes to Michael Douglas and stabs him. Well, I was that girl. I stabbed this guy a lot of times. But I met with the court, and they just put it on the table and said self-defense, And so I was lucky there. But all these things happening to me, these tragic things happening to me, is a result out of my using drugs. And I was a functioning drug addict. But I just, I tell you something, just don't do drugs. Maybe some cannabis, but no hard drugs.
Did you ever serve any jail time?
Yes, I did, 2 days. Did assault with a deadly weapon. It was one of my watchers, guys, and I thought he did me wrong, and I tore up his screen door, and they caught me. Assault with a deadly weapon. And I did some time for that.
Did you have any experiences running with gangs or anything like that in LA?
Oh my God, I get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and drive into South Central, right? Go into some major dealer's house, he's got a guy out there with a gun guarding him. And I walk in, nonchalantly. He did tell me something, though. I was proud of myself. That's not anything to be proud of. It's disgraceful. But yes, I hung around with gangs. Oh, yeah.